that are freaky fresh and freaky fast. Made with high-quality ingredients, each sub is a flavor explosion. Whether you crave turkey, roast beef, or veggie, we've got you covered. Stop by today and taste the difference. Your taste buds will thank you. Welcome to the Harp and Habit, Steubenville's hidden gem.
think it's the plug?
And he fouls that one off, so he'll stay alive, but the plate does tie Householder. Count still 3-2.
Okay. All right.
Householder.
Yep.
Very tight in on the plate. And he fires it down
Got
the
it.
third baseline. Hard hit ball. Fielded by Stone King across the first. And that's the third out of the inning, 5-3. Stone King to the first baseman, Hunter. That's the third out. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left.
Hold on
At the
one
end,
second.
the 4 innings of play, your score.
All right.
Indian Creek 5, Harrison Central 2. We'll be back with more after this timeout.
All right. All right.
Or maybe we'll keep it here.
Okay, so you want to go from...
And yeah, let's just keep it here for right now.
Good contest so far. Two
hold
pitchers
on.
settling in here.
1 second.
A few early runs for the coach, and going to be a question of who can get their offense back on track. Lead. 4 runs. He's got to go on a roll, and if he's playing Leonard Skinner as his walk-up song.
There you go. There you go. Hey. A little meeting at the mound. Something going on. Somebody, half the infield's.
I think this is equipment related.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
Are they making some
understand
changes?
why. No, I think this is equipment related. I don't know if there's any other reason to look inside. We have it looks like a member of the training staff coming out, but maybe it is. Yeah, they do have a change here.
Looks like
The change is going to be at third base. It's going to be number 14.
Trey Feast Winland. So Trey Feast Winland is going to take over at third base for Don DiGrotolo.
All kind of stuff happening there. That one of the administrative or training staff members of Harrison out on the field at the same time.
Looked like he was headed over to
To the umpire.
and a foul tip swing and strike it for Lance Smith. 0-1 the count. Outside ball 101. Evens the count at 1.
Outfield pretty straight away here, as are the infielders. Smith looking to get on, get something started here.
He
See if they
swings through that one for strike 2.
Practice with 8 strikeouts so far for Silas Hyde. Straight down the hill. There's some downward action on that. I can tell what kind of pitch that was, Coach. But
Swing and a miss.
it's 9 strikeouts now for
It's
Silas
electric.
Hyde.
It's electric strikeout. Lance Smith goes down for strike one. 5-2 the score here. Indian Creek with the lead here in the top of the fifth inning. Rudder, and he'll take ball one. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Rudder with a good at bat. Got that inning started in the third inning with a walk on a 3-2 pitch. Did a really good job of working it.
Fifth inning brought to you by Water Transport, and a shot down the third base line. It's fair by Rudder. Rudder all the way to the wall before it's tracked down by Starkey. Rudder going to head into second base with a stand-up double. So once again, Rudder gets things rolling here for the Huskies.
Now batting for the Huskies, number 9, Tucker Snyder.
Good piece of hitting there. He got a fastball on the inside part of the plate, pulls his hands inside, and is able to rifle that ball down the left field line there. Coaching a really good job there by Starkey, the left fielder for Indian Creek, to get the ball back in and hold Rudder to a double and keep him off at third with 1 out.
Tucker Snyder, who has struck out and fly to left field here. Trying to get something rolling here for the Creek, and he'll show the bunt, but it's high and inside for ball one.
Creek shows what they're going to do on a bunt here. They're the first baseman, Sal Barkalow, charging, and the new third baseman, Trey Feast-Winland, is going to hold at least on that pitch, and they would have the third base line covered by pitcher Silas Hyde, probably in that same defense, and they are.
And they're going to bunt to third base. It's a pop-up, and he wisely and very, very getting back to second base is Rudder. So it's a pop out to the third baseman in fair territory for out number 2 on the fly-out bunt by, I think Snyder was maybe trying for the base hit there as he was trying to get it.
Yeah.
But not a very good bunt.
It's a good idea to try to put the third baseman in that quandary where he has to come get the ball, but the ball's got to be on the ground. Alert job there by the runner at second base, Colton Rudder, to get back on that pop-up.
And Dunkel, who has been hit by a pitch and tripled, has an RBI and scored a run here in this game. Takes strike one. 5-2 your score. Indian Creek with the lead here in the top of the fifth, and he's going to get one into center field, and it's going to reach the center fielder for out number 3, and that fly out ends the top of the fifth inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. Your score at the end of 4.5 innings of play. Indian Creek 5, Harrison Central 2. You're watching Ohio High School Baseball on the Ohio Valley Sports Authority, OVSO. Back after this. Having a little bit of problem with the technical problem going on here, and Tony's trying to work that out. So we'll keep it here, Mike, and talk about. Let's see, we have a
good high school ball game so far, Coach.
Yeah.
Both pitchers pitching well, other than the hiccup in the first inning. They both settled in really well here. A lot of strikeouts, which is indicative of them both having pretty good stuff. So we'll look forward to this ball game moving along. Hopefully, in these last couple innings, as long as the pitch counts don't get too far up there.
Hyde with 9 and Rudder with 6. And now
That's
we'll be
a lot of
in
strikeouts.
the bottom of the 15 strikeouts. So now we're in the bottom of the
bottom of the
bottom
fifth
of
here.
5.
Bottom of 5, and that would mean that we've been through, 12, 24, 27 outs, and 14 of them have been via strikeout.
Wow. 2, 3, and 4 for Indian Creek. Hunter Rusnick, Sal Barkalow, and Silas Hyde, who have done a lot of damage in this game thus far. Rusnick.
Yeah, this top of the order for Indian Creek's impressive.
Hit by a pitch and doubled.
And Rusnick's
His 2 plate
still
appearances.
close to the plate. You can see his toes are almost touching that white line, Coach, that is the inside line of the batter's box there. So he's really up on that plate. And, again, that would tell me that he likes the ball inside.
And if he didn't cut his toenails, he'd be touching that white line.
Yeah.
So he'll take ball 1.
Another off-speed pitch there. Drops it in for a strike.
1 ball, 1 strike the count now. 5-2 your score. Indian Creek with the lead here in the bottom of the 5th inning. 2, 3, and 4 at the plate against Rudder. Cues it to second base. Arbaugh up with it. Strong throw to first, and that's out number 1 here in the bottom of the 5th. That's going to bring up Sal Barkalow, who has singled and has an RBI, was thrown out at the plate.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he was a key part of that rally. He hit the base hit the right field, but then he was the one that ran through the stop sign and cost Indian Creek a run there in the top or the bottom half of the 1st.
And he takes ball 1 outside.
Keep forgetting that Indian Creek is technically the home team here.
Yeah, this game was supposed to be played at Hills Field, Indian Creek's field, but due to weather conditions, it was moved here. 1 ball, 1 strike. Now the count as Barkalow takes strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike here in the bottom of the 5th. 1 out, nobody on.
Big swing there by Barkalow.
That's strike 2.
Swung right through that fastball.
One ball, 2 strike count. And called strike
pitch.
3 on Barkalow.
Yeah.
Another it's electric strikeout for out number 2. That's number 7 now for Rudder.
Boy, give credit to whoever's calling the pitches for whether it's the catcher or the coming from the dugout with Harrison there. They saw that the Indian Creek hitter Barkalow had swung right through that high fastball, came right back with it. Barkalow didn't want to offer at it and was called a strike.
And outside and gets away from the catcher this time, Pellegrini.
Yeah, it looked like it almost slipped out of his hand.
1 ball, no strike
This
count.
is a big out here. They go 1, 2, 3. They can get their offense going back again quickly.
Water Transport brings you inning number 5 here on the evening. 2 balls, no strikes now. Some of the fans a little irritated with the call. That one high and outside. It's going to be ball 3 now to Silas Hyde, who has reached via a base hit and a hit batsman. And scored a run. And Hyde will take strike 1. 3 balls, 1 strike count now to Silas Hyde. Bottom of the 5th inning, 5-2 your score. Indian Creek with the lead. Phil Rujak along with Mike Florak and Tony Lilly bring you all the play-by-play. And a ball grounded to second baseman Arbaugh, across the first base Snyder, and that's going to end the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. Your score at the end of 4.5 innings of play. Indian Creek 5, Harrison Central 2. Can we go? Okay, we're gonna give it a shot. We'll be back after this timeout.
Or we'll come back and listen to some more.
Or have it delivered. Do you have an event that needs catered? Well, give Josephine's a call today. 740-282-1599. Josephine's has an extensive menu. Look them up on Facebook or call them now. 740-282-1599. Josephine's, authentic Italian food, carry out or delivery.
Looking for compassionate, top-quality care for your loved ones? Welcome to Lanzia Nursing Homes, with locations in Steubenville and St. Clairsville. At Lanzia, we provide a home-like environment with 24/7 skilled medical care, personalized services, and engaging activities. Our dedicated staff ensures your loved ones receive the best care possible in a safe and scenic setting. Visit Lanzia Nursing Homes today and experience the difference. Call us at 740-264-7101 or visit LanziaNursingHomes.com. Lanzia Nursing Homes, where care meets compassion.
Thank you, National Colloid, for sponsoring this broadcast. A National Colloid company with over 75 years in the chemical industry can take care of all your chemical blending needs.
Top of the sixth inning here, 5-2 your score. We apologize for some technical difficulties we're having with audio and maybe a little bit of video difficulties we're having here. So please bear with us. We'll try to give you the score a little bit more often, and we'll try to make sure we give you the count a little bit more often. So Gage Stone King, the third baseman, comes up to the plate now. Stone King has been on base twice. Take strike one, was the victim of a pickoff last time up after he singled.
There's some life on that fastball still from Silas Hyde. It's a good hitter's pitch right there, but no offer from Stone King. I think that had a little bit too much life out of it to jump on the first pitch.
1 ball, 1 strike to count to Stone King now. Sixth inning brought to you by the O Patio and Pub on Lane. It's taken for ball 2. 5-2 your score. Indian Creek with the lead here in the top of the sixth inning. Harrison Central. Stone King at the plate. Gage, the third baseman. He has a shot to the right field. Bodo takes a couple of steps to right and right back to the left. And fields it.
Now batting, number 15.
Hard hit ball, just right out.
Snyder.
1 out.
Coach, I think that ball was hit as hard as any ball we've seen all night. A really good piece of hitting right there by Greg Stone. Came right at
Very
the
hard
right
hit ball
fielder,
again.
Caleb Bodo, and it's out number 1 here in the bottom of the sixth.
Yeah, Harrison, when they've hit the ball hard, hasn't had the luck that
You are correct. Yep.
Creek has had. Now it's going to be a little chopper to third base. Feast Windland is going to get it across, but he ain't able to dig it out of the turf is Barkalow. And that's going to be, he's going to reach his Hunter Snyder. What do you think, Coach? Error? Let's see what they...
Yeah, it's got to be an error. There's no doubt about it. Unfortunate that he made a nice play to come and get the ball there, but just uncorked a low throw. Barkalow with a nice attempt to scoop there. Ball hit off the heel of his glove, and the runner safe at first. So let's see if that's a catalyst.
And we're going to see a pinch runner here for Harrison Central.
Going.
Zachary Harbold, the freshman, is going to run for the big first baseman Hunter Snyder, who's also a freshman. So they're going to try to get something going here. A little bit more speed on the bases. Anthony Pellegrin now, who has struck out and fouled out to first base. The catcher for the Huskies. Here in the top of the 6-5-2 your score, Indian Creek with the lead. Again, we apologize. We've had some technical difficulties here today and trying to bring you the best broadcast we can. And obviously, sometimes you get a bad cable that does not allow you to happen. And unfortunately, you can't see that. It just happens. And Tony narrowed it down and got it taken care of as best he could. High pop, and the first baseman Barkalow is going to take command of that one, and he'll get that one a pop out to first base.
It's a nice catch there by Barkalow, but I'd like to see the second baseman, Stan Amos, take charge of that one, because that's a tough play for Barkalow to run over his shoulder, catch out on the backhand.
And he did a nice job, but
did.
Nonetheless, you're right. Going to bring up Colton Miser, the designated hitter, who has struck out twice today, so he's due to put the ball in play somewhere.
He's been a little late on that high fastball a couple times. Let's see if Hyde stays with it, and that's where he threw that first pitch.
It's going to be taken for strike 1. No balls, 1 strike now to the designated hitter. Second delivery. That's going to be fouled back to the screen.
Breaking ball there.
Now.
It was a harder version of the breaking ball that we've seen so far. Really got in on the hitter's hands there.
No balls, 2 strike now to Miser. Hyde. Out of the stretch. And a golf shot back to the pitcher. And he'll take it and sidearm it to first base, and that's out number 3. 1-3. And that's the third out of the inning. No runs, no hits, 1 error, 1 left. Your score at the end of 5.5 now. Indian Creek 5, Harrison Central 2. We'll be back with the bottom of the 6th after this timeout.
Attention sports fans, are you looking for the ultimate game day experience? Look no further than the O Patio and Pub on Lane, your go-to spot for pregame excitement, located just a 5-minute walk from the iconic OSU football stadium and the Schottenstein Center. We are proud supporters of all Ohio Valley sports teams. Join us for the largest pregame parties for football, basketball, and concerts. Indulge in Columbus's best wood-fired pizza and marinated, baked, then deep-fried wings with all your favorite sauces. Our rich history in Ohio State's campus and culture spans 30 years, with a deep-rooted love for home reflected in our logo, featuring the Star of Steubenville. So whether you're visiting family, catching up with friends, or headed to an event around OSU, make yourself at home at the O Patio and Pub on Lane. Embrace the spirit of the Valley and the thrill of the game with us. For a memorable game day experience, visit us on Lane Avenue in Columbus, Ohio.
Looking for a great deal on a pre-owned vehicle? Ohio Motor Group has you covered. Visit us in Steubenville, Bridgeport, or online. We've got cars, trucks, and SUVs to fit every budget and lifestyle. Bad credit? No problem. We offer guaranteed credit approval. If we can't approve you, no one can. Check out our inventory online at ohiomotorgroup.com or stop by one of our locations today. Drive away in your dream car.
Bottom of the sixth inning. Bottom of the sixth inning here at Mazeroski Field, Indian Creek. With a 5-2 lead. Bottom of the sixth, brought to you by the O Patio and Pub on Lane. Gavin Penal, Trey Feast Winland, and James Brothers, 5, 6, and 7 will come to the plate for. They're waiting for catcher Pellegrin to get his equipment ready. Get his equipment all on. And Anthony now headed to behind the plate.
Got to give a shout out to our sponsor here, my man Eddie Gahn, the O on Lane, sticking with us all the way from Columbus, Ohio. He and I played freshman basketball together, among a number of other things, for the Indian Creek first base coach, Thomas Teak Mort, who's just been a great long-time coach here in the Valley.
Teak been around a long,
yes,
long time.
Yes, sir.
1-1 the count.
Helped a lot of us. Great guy. Great person.
Pownell, who has struck out twice today. He takes inside corner, strike 2, 1 ball, 2 strike count now to Gavin Penal.
Doing some great things with the adaptive sports programs out there at Indian Creek. Tika.
He sure is.
Heart of gold. Still a lot of enthusiasm. Do anything for anybody. Just a great guy. We're lucky. He's a real gem of the Ohio Valley for sure.
2-2 the count. Swing and a miss, strike
Good
3.
pitch.
And that's Penal going down 3 times. Electric O, it's electric strikeout, number 8 for Colton Rudder.
Coach, I'm really impressed with the way Rudder settled in. I mean, he has been all over it since that first inning.
He could have exploded and just imploded, and he didn't. Give the junior credit.
Mm-hmm.
And Trey Feast Winland.
Great composure, throwing his off-speed stuff for strikes, keeping the fastball located well.
Feast Winland takes strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes now. The third baseman of Indian Creek. Came in to replace Dom DiGratola last time up. Not sure what happened there, what the reasoning was. It was just his turn to get in. And a little bit outside, he watches ball 1 go by. Wanted to offer at it, but chose not to. It was a good choice. That a little bit too far outside.
I tried to overthrow that one and yank that a little bit, but he's I think if he stays within himself, he'll be fine here. He doesn't need to put any extra on his fastball. His velocity's been good.
5-2, Creek leads here in the bottom of the 6th inning. And a swing and a miss. Electric O, it's electric strikeout. Number 9 for Colton Rudder. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. That's going to bring up
That's
pinch hitter.
By my count, that's 9 strikeouts for each pitcher, Coach.
Yep. Let's see, that's going to be, Jace Nett. Going to pinch hit for Brothers. And he
Oh,
gets a
good rip
hard
there. Ooh,
shot.
nice play.
Stone King with a great pick off turf. Across
Very
to
nice
first
pick.
for the third out. And here in the bottom of the sixth inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. Your score at the end of 6 innings of play. Harrison Central trails Indian Creek 5-2. One more chance at bat. We'll be back with the top of the 7th after this break.
Are you seeing the world as clearly as you should? At Ohio Valley Vision Center, we believe in providing top-quality eye care for you and your family. From comprehensive eye exams to the latest in eyewear fashion, our experienced optometrists are here to help. Located in Steubenville and Weirton, we offer convenient hours to fit your busy schedule. Thanks to Ohio Valley Vision Center, you can see better than ever. Call us today at 740-283-3937 or visit OhioValleyVisionCenter.com to schedule your appointment. Ohio Valley Vision Center. Your vision, our focus.
You're listening to Ohio Valley Sports Online, the sports authority, bringing you the best in local sports, high school as well as college. Subscribe to us on our YouTube page. Check us out on Facebook as well.
Seventh inning brought to you by SVRTA. Silas Hyde, Mike, going to try to close this one out with a complete game, leading 5-2 here in the top of the 7th inning. 9 strikeouts for each pitcher. Great pitching effort by both these young men.
Yeah, and a nice defensive play there by Gage Stone King to end that last inning on a hard hit ball off the bat of the Indian Creek pinch hitter Jace Nett. Harrison needs to get it going right here with the bottom of the order to start it.
7, 8, 9, Reed Arbaugh, Lance Smith, and Colton Rudder. Arbaugh has been a strikeout victim 2 times tonight.
As has the following hitter, Lance Smith, so these guys are going to have to dig deep and find a way to get on.
Takes ball 1, then takes strike 1. 1-1 the count now to Arbaugh. Here in the top of the 7th inning, 5-2. Harrison Central trails. Needs base runners.
Good fastball right there. Still a lot of life on that fastball. Silas Hyde.
1-2 the count now as Arbaugh swings right through that one. Hyde brings it right down the pipe, and it's going to be fouled off down the third baseline. Count remains at 1-2. Arbaugh, the senior. Second baseman for Mike Velasco's team. And he's going to swing through that one.
Fastball, yep.
Another electric strikeout. Number 10 for Silas Hyde. And now that'll bring up Lance Smith, the shortstop. Again, he's been a 2-time strikeout victim to Hyde.
It was big of Hyde to get that first. You don't want that first runner on. Whatever, and you get into these late innings, that just increases attention. You don't want that first. That base runner's got to be a big out, and Silas Hyde able to record it be a strikeout.
First pitch, ball 1. Second pitch outside, ball 2. 2-0 now the count.
Now what happens after a big strikeout here? Someone's got to go in and say a word to him, calm him down. You see him walking off the back of the mound here, Coach, trying to recompose himself. That's one thing that happens. You get in that type of situation, the adrenaline's really pumping to get that first hitter. So now he's got to refocus. He can't just it's like letting the air out of a balloon. You have to let it out slowly, or else the balloon totally deflates.
And you
got to pump it back up a little bit.
He does settle down enough to get that ball in the strike zone for strike 1. 2 balls, 1 strike now on Lance Smith. And he swings and misses. Yeah. Strike 2 now evens the count at 2-2. And you got to believe Silas Hyde is pumped up and the juices are flowing, because it's 7th inning. He wants to complete this game and get this thing over with. So he wants these guys to go down 1, 2, 3.
Right now, it's
see what happens.
Right within his grasp. A wise move for him to reload back there on the back of the mound. He got a full count here. This is the big pitch.
The 3-2 count. 5-2 the score. Indian Creek with the lead here. Harrison Central needs a couple of base runners. to make it interesting. And a swing and a miss on the full count. And that's strikeout number 11.
Number 6.
It's electric. The it's electric strikeout number 11 for Silas Hyde. And that's going to bring up Colton Rudder, who has not been, he's batting ninth, but he's not been an easy out. He's been hit by a pitch, scored a run, and had a double. Rudder takes ball one. Top of the order coming up next. Tucker Snyder, Caden Dunkel, Gage Stone King.
I don't see anybody warming up for Indian Creek on the side or anything either.
And evens a count at 1-1 as Rudder looks at strike one. Hyde sets himself, kick, and fires. But high and outside, ball two. 2 balls, 1 strike, 5-2. Indian Creek with the lead here. Harrison Central down to their last batter here in the top of the 7th inning. 7th inning brought to you by SVRTA. And he's going to foul it out to the first base side, out of play.
SVRTA, come ride with us. Remember those old commercials?
Come ride with us.
Old, the late Chico Swearing. So God bless Chico.
How some things just stick with you.
Always, always. Come ride with us, Chico on there.
And
Who would say no to a bus ride from Chico?
Oh, absolutely. That one misses high and inside, fills up the count at 3-2. Hyde. If you're Hyde, you want to get out of this. If you're Harrison, you want Rudder wants to get on base, brings the top of the order up. So down to their last strike, Harrison Central.
Good pitch and a good spoil there by Rudder.
Rudder going to foul it off out of play again to the right side. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 5-2 your score. 2 outs here, top of the 7th inning.
Rudder up on the bat with 2 strikes, do anything he can to try to make contact.
And a pop fly to right field. Short right, but coming on a running play. Caleb Bodo for the final out. And that's going to do it for this one. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. The final score today, Indian Creek 5, Harrison Central 2. We'll be back with the Jimmy John's post-game show after this timeout.
Okay, so where do you go for fish during Lent? Why, Steve's Fish and Chips, of course. Great fish sandwiches and excellent fish junks. Oh, and shrimp, too. Plus an assortment of sides. It's great during Lent, but Steve's Fish and Chips is an excellent choice anytime. They have burgers, chicken wings, and salads, too. You've got to try the fried pickles. Steve's Fish and Chips. Call today and order 740-282-3261. 740-282-3261.
Are you looking for personalized care to help you recover from an injury or surgery? Look no further than Summit Physical Therapy. With a focus on individualized treatment and compassionate care, our team is dedicated to helping you achieve your recovery goals. Whether you're seeking relief from pain, recovering from a sports injury, or aiming to improve your mobility, Summit Physical Therapy is here for you. We have 5 locations to serve you: Chester, Fallensby, New Cumberland, and Weirton. Announcing a grand opening of a new location in Toronto February 12th. At Summit Physical Therapy, we take pride in delivering one-on-one attention and personal care.
Back here at Mazeroski Field, your final score, Indian Creek 5-2 winner over Harrison Central. Tough thing to do. They Thursday and Friday, both teams played. Indian Creek won both of those 5-0 and 9-2. This in a 5-2 game. Another really good game between 2 really good teams.
Well pitched. Colton Rudder on the side of Harrison and Silas Hyde on the side of Indian Creek. 2 pitchers that really got after it. The difference was Indian Creek was able to put up that 4 spot in the first inning, Coach. A couple guys on base via walk, and then a couple big hits later on, a big home run. And, Harrison had one good inning where they were able to put a couple runs on the board, but Silas Hyde shut them down, and it was a great, well-pitched game, very good high school baseball game.
Harrison Central, 2 runs on 3 hits, one Indian Creek error, and 5 left on base for Harrison Central. 5 runs on 4 hits, 2 Harrison Central errors, and 2 left on base. Once again, your final score here: Harrison Central, or Indian Creek moves to 9-1. Harrison Central falls to 8-5. Your final score: Indian Creek 5, Harrison Central 2. For my broadcast partner, Mike Morak, for the man turning the dials, Tony Lilly, this is Phil Rujak. Apologizing again for the technical difficulties, but we thank you very much for tuning in, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Again, your final score: Indian Creek 5, Harrison Central 2. Good night, everybody.